I have one Rick Gideon here for Columbiana, Ecclesia of God. Well, I believe I was called to become an Ezekiel watchman, not the Ezekiel watchman. I think, who is it? Gerald R. Fleury, come out of the Worldwide Church of God, one of the splinter groups, Church of God Philadelphia. He believes he is the Ezekiel watchman. Well, whatever floats your boat, whatever drives your ego, all those guys want to be Herbert W. Armstrong. As an Ezekiel watchman and as a watchman of Ephraim, I gotta get this out. I don't know how, I don't get a whole lot of views. I think 10,000, over 10,000 is the most on who Laodicea is and David C. Pack, the Restored Church of God. So I got to get warnings of what's going to come upon this nation of Ephraim. Ultimately, the sword coming on this nation. Hosea 5:9, if you want to keep it real short. Ephraim shall lie desolate in the day of rebuke. I have made it known among the tribes of Israel. As the lead tribe with the greatest blessings and the greatest responsibility, we, are going to be completely taken out. Again, don't shoot the messenger. I don't enjoy this. I can't turn what's left of one of my hairs white or black. So this is going to come upon millions of Americans when the world reserve currency and the petrodollar, either or both, are cut off. You won't have a free printing press anymore. You won't have a government that can roll up trillions of dollars in debt, 19.6 trillion to date, I believe. It's all fake. We had a free meal ticket, all because of the obedience of one man. This is going to happen to millions of Americans. When someone's got to blow the trumpet and let them know. Whether one person views it or not, God says before he does something, he must make what he does, make it known to his servants. If I can even be called that, I don't even like to say that. His servants, the prophets, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 28. The Lord will strike you with madness. So many in this nation are going to be struck with madness. And as a witness working in the medical field, you know what? I've been doing what I have been doing, physical therapy, for going on 25 years. Back in the early 1990s, the caseload is a lot different in the geriatric field than it is today. Most of it is psych. People are wackier. People are meaner. It's just the way it is. People are wimpier. Can't tolerate any pain. It's the way it is for Americans. And a lot of people around the world see that in us, yours truly included. And what I'm about to say, I've dealt with this. So from Strong's Concordance, this is the Hebrew for the word madness here in Deuteronomy 28:28. Let me pronounce this. I'm not a Hebrew scholar. I don't intend to memorize Hebrew. Don't have time. Plain and simple. So it's pronounced Shigayon. Shigayon. Shiggayon. Shigayon. Shigayon. Madness. Okay. The definition. Short definition, madness. The The NASB translation, furiously or madness. Brown Driver Briggs. It means madly, smite with madness, figurative of wild and helpless panic. What's going to come upon this nation that's going to make millions of people go nuts? It's real simple. It's real simple. Of course, I'm always thinking all the time. I can turn my brain on and off now. So going on down, furiously, madness, from shaga, which means craziness, furiously, and madness. So what's going to happen to millions of Americans? And believe me, I sympathize with them. I myself, who has had depression since I was a child, I've dealt with it. And severe insomnia. Up until a few months ago, I had a healing. I don't have depression anymore. And I don't really have insomnia. My sleep is getting better and better. My mind is calmer than it has been in many years. I feel better now than I did when I was 22 years old. Do you believe that? And I'm 54. So what, my friends, is going to strike the United States when we lose, when we can't print money anymore? You're not going to have Social Security. You're not going to have Medicare. You're not going to have your insurance. So what does insurance pay for? Drugs. Drugs. Plain and simple. Benzos. Opiates. Painkillers. Millions of Americans are hooked on them. And what happens if they're cut off all of a sudden? Well, let's just read. Let me read real quick here. This is from an article, Hooked on Pharmaceuticals, Prescription Drug Abuse in America. It kills more than car accidents every year. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention classified it as an epidemic, and the World Health Organization reported it threatens the achievements of modern medicine. So prescription drug abuse is a global problem. Oh, it's going to come upon the world, but lo and behold, and the U.S., Ephraim, as a witness, is the world's biggest addict. You know, it's very warm in here. Let me get a sip of water. Americans account for 99% of the world's, let's say, Vicodin consumption, 80% of the world's Oxycontin, that's Percocet and Oxycontin consumption, and 65% of the world's dilated consumption, that's hydromorphone consumption, according to the New York Times. So it says it's an estimated 52 million Americans use prescription drugs for non-medical reasons at least once in their lifetimes. So look, it says every year prescription painkillers cause more than 16,000 deaths and 475,000 emergency room visits. Look, I'm in the medical field. I see benzos, Klonopin, Ativan, Oxycontin. I see this stuff handed out like candy. And psych drugs. I get it. I totally get it. People need this, but people are abusing this stuff. And a lot of these meds, these psych drugs, if you're cut off, benzos cut off, painkillers cut off, panic attacks, suicide thoughts, violent behavior. I mean, I can't begin to breaks with reality. I can't begin to get into exactly what these things do. I could have written down a symptom list, like I said, panic attacks, fear, feeling like you're dying. You know what? Hey, been there, done that. That's all I can say. Worst of sinners, making sure I'm on. I drank more booze in a few short years than most people in their lifetimes. Did drug abuse, did just about all of it. So I know where people are coming from when they have addictions. I'm not saying this to condemn people, but I'm warning whoever is out there. It's in the pages of your Bible. It's going to become a curse. When all the drugs are cut off, people are going to go nuts. People are going to have all kind of terrible side effects. People are going to commit suicide. Don't shoot the messenger. My brain goes, I think of things, and that's the way it is. As a warning, Deuteronomy 28:28, this video is short. When the money is cut off, when everything fails, millions of people that are hooked on painkillers, benzos, opiates, and stuff like that, they're going to go crazy. Crime's going to go through the roof. The land will be struck with madness. So, there's your warning. I don't want to make this too long. You get the idea. Go, you know what? If you're on medications, psych meds, any of these meds like that, go look their side effects up. You just can't stop taking them all at once. You'll go nuts. You'll go crazy. So there you go. So thank you for your time and thank you for listening.